Well, I just had to try and do this 4 times because this has been a very hard review to do. Guys, you know me. I always tell you how it is. Good, bad, or ugly. I am not someone who sugarcoats anything. I'm not someone who kisses anybody's ass. I'm going to tell you how it is. And you already seen the title, Surprisingly Good. It's obvious. If you want to know if you should watch this, yeah, there's several things in there you're going to like. But I want to make this clear. My opinion about the WWE has not changed. And I don't think it's going to change for quite a while. I'm still not going to watch the product. I still don't trust how this company is going to be run because there's still a possibility, as I said before, there's the devil you knew compared to the devil you don't know. And we don't know if there's going to be a battle inside WWE in a certain amount of time. That there's going to be a huge mess in there, and we don't know yet. Right now, it's still so new, and everyone is completely shocked. But I will tell you how this show is, and I will tell you my final thoughts at the end of this. Now, I did not look at the kickoff show, so don't ask. Raw Women's title, Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair. Now, this pissed me off. I'm not going to lie. This pissed me off as they're saying and touting, this is the most incredible thing. Finally, justice for Becky Lynch and justice for Bianca. Really? Didn't they do that in WrestleMania? Now, mind you, I want to make this clear. There's a very strong possibility that this show had been already booked the way it was. Of course, Triple H probably changed certain things in the show because you could see, and I want to make this clear, the wrestling was different. No matter if you like the matches or not, all the wrestlers were different due to the fact they seem more enthusiastic. You can tell the enthusiasm from the wrestlers. They seem to be different. That's the truth. You could check throughout the entire show, all 8 matches, not counting the kickoff because I didn't see the kickoff. But the 8 matches that you saw there, you could see that majority of those wrestlers were more enthusiastic than normal. They were. That was flat out honesty. They were more enthusiastic. But I still state this. With this enthusiasm, this was probably booked ahead of time by Vince. So everything you saw there was still a Vince McMahon booking. That is just how it is. There ain't no lie about it. So, opening is with Bianca and Becky for the Raw Women's title. They touted that this was the most important thing. Really? What happened with WrestleMania? Wasn't WrestleMania supposed to be the blow off? Because of what happened in SummerSlam last year, they tried to make up for it at WrestleMania, and now they're doing it again here. This was not about the wrestling, even though I might put some images in here. Look at Becky Lynch. What the fuck was those things on her knees? Those things look like they could have been from a suit of armor during the Middle Ages. Or better yet, Go Power Rangers. She might have reminded me either of a suit of armor or Go Power Ranger with her shin guards and her knee guards or whatever you want to call them. That was so damn outlandish. It was stupid. And let me give it to you like this. We know they got chemistry when they actually put it on. And there was chemistry. Admittedly, I think that Becky might have hurt her arm because of how Bianca dropped her so hard on her shoulder. So I don't know if it's real or not. Hopefully she isn't hurt because we don't need more people out. But simply, the match was fine. It was not 100% bad. And in the end, I admit I thought it was going to be Becky who won, but it was Bianca who was allowed to retain, which is good. But then, we got to return Bayley. I missed my finger, went like this. We got to return Bayley. We got to returning Dakota Kai and Io Shirai. That's interesting. But the question is going to be, how are they going to be booked? Now, mind you, yes, Papa H is there. Triple H is there. Many people are going to say, well, don't worry, they're going to be booked incredible. Bullshit. I say this again. Just because Triple H is in charge of creative doesn't mean that creative is going to still be good. I'm sorry. Ain't going to happen. So I don't know what's going to happen with Bayley. I don't know what's happening to Io Shirai. And I don't know what's going to happen with, I'm about to say Cobra Kai. Dakota Kai. You know, I haven't finished season 4 yet. I got to watch it. And she reminds me of watching Dakota Kai reminds me of finishing up Cobra Kai because I've not seen it. And I don't want to miss, I think the 5th season's coming out. But essentially, seeing that Becky has now turned face because Bianca and her hugged after the match was over. I'm fine with that. It was time to turn her face eventually because a lot of people didn't want her as a heel. So now that she's been turned face, that's cool. I'm all right with that. And let's move on to the next match, which I'm sure a lot of people thought was going to be up. As I said in my last video, when it came to Raw, I'm not going by how Logan Paul was on YouTube and social media. I'm going by what he does in the ring and how he's been performing as a wrestler. So that is all I'm going to go by, not the way he acted when he went to Japan and filmed a dead person who was hung himself. Not doing that, or any other of the stupid stuff that he's done over the years. This is about seeing him as a pro wrestler. Anything outside WWE, that's something entirely different. Just focusing on what's here. Now, for what little I saw of how they've been building the feud, he hasn't done 100% bad, but he's still green. It is obvious. And when you see this match, you can see that as a former wrestler, real amateur wrestler, and someone who went in the ring as a boxer, because he has done boxing for YouTube Boxing. You guys know that he's been trying to build up, and he had gone up against KSI. So essentially, he's still mostly a real-life amateur wrestler and a little bit of a boxer trying to learn how to be a pro wrestler. Now, it's obvious that he has been getting some good work in, but you can see that he's still very stiff and very physical. A little more physical than I think the Michael Miz been. The Miz. Had to say it like that because, oh my gosh, I think I'll show her. Her boobs are delicious, and that is Maurice. I'm sorry. Yeah, she had 2 kids, but those boobs are still... I mean, you know when I've had a wife, that sometimes when a woman has more than one child, her breasts begin to sag after they started breastfeeding. Not every woman keeps their curves. This woman, I don't know what she had to do to maintain her curves. She has kept her boobs elevated. But I don't think The Miz expected him to be that physical. Miz has always been known to be more of a gentle wrestler. If anybody thinks The Miz can be very physical, he can at certain times. But he's more of a mild, more gentle wrestler to most people. Doesn't mean he's 100% crap in the ring. He's never been 100% crap. He's been a good wrestler. He's never been great, but he's always been good. Someone you could say is solid when he wants to be solid. And there's times when he looks like shit. Here, he wasn't bad. But here's the thing. Logan Paul, who's still green, is extremely physical still. When he hit The Miz with a clothesline, that bitch hit the floor hard. He did not expect it. And then you can see bruising starting to develop on his face. I think it was this side of his face. When Logan hit him in the face, he was not holding back that much. So he still doesn't know how to be able to hold back his punches to make it look good without hurting his opponent. He still has a lot to learn. So the match was fine. Can't believe Ciampa is now working with The Miz. But as long as Ciampa is happy and he's getting paid, hey, I'm cool with that. But in the end, Ciampa gets ejected but doesn't want to leave, and then AJ attacks him and then gets him removed and thrown into the crowd. Eventually, Logan does beat The Miz. Now, I don't know how far they're going to keep going with this feud because there's no way they're going to end it now. I don't think it's ended yet. I don't think The Miz is just going to be finished with Logan or Logan with Miz. I think they may last maybe a couple more months until they're ready to actually give Logan something to do. That's just me. So I don't think it's over yet. Next. The next match. The U.S. title match. I don't remember which. Was it on SmackDown or Raw? I can't remember. But the U.S. title match of Austin Fury. Sorry, I'm yawning. I'm tired. It is hot in my apartment. It is nearly 12 o'clock. And that was a lot to watch. So if I yawn, I'm sorry. I am human even though I stay up maybe 20 hours. This is what happens when you're an insomniac. I can stay up almost 18 hours at a stint. Guys, I don't know what it is. I'm 51 years old. Most guys my age would be going, I don't. I could stay up for 20 hours to 18 hours and maybe get 2 or 3 hours of sleep. Maybe. Anyway, when you see this match, it made me want to sleep. You know why? There wasn't much there. Fury tapped out. It didn't feel important. Now, mind you, the crowd are into, the crowd in Nashville, Tennessee, they're into Lashley, which is fine. If Lashley's happy where he is, that's cool. But for me, when it came to Austin Theory in this situation, I didn't think he needed to go to the U.S. title. He's got the damn Money in the Bank. He doesn't need it. The U.S. title will not make Theory. The Money in the Bank will help Fury to make himself. And unfortunately, he had to go through that and he lost, which I wasn't surprised. I didn't think Theory was going to get that damn title. He is not Seth Rollins. He's not going to get the title and then use Money in the Bank to get that too. It's just not going to happen. That's just me. Move on. Now, Judgment Day. This is a match I really thought could have been on Raw. Judgment Day of Finn as well as Damian Priest and look, I know not everyone's going to say that Rhea Ripley is a beautiful woman. I mean, she's more of like a shoulder, a little bit of hips, and small boobs, and that's her. But she is very beautiful in the face. And yes, she's built like this. Doesn't make her a bad-looking woman. Me, I'll take anything. And I guess the reason I'm doing this is because I really didn't care that much about this match. This match should have not been on SummerSlam. I'm sorry. Guys, yes, 20 years in WWE for Rey Mysterio. But what does this really mean dealing with Judgment Day? Yes, it was at the end that since... Look, seeing that Edge has now turned from heel to face because Judgment Day basically got rid of him. Fine. That's good to see. But that could have happened on Raw. You could have done that on the next Raw. And it would have still had the same reaction. I think that's what it should happen. They should have waited to Raw for this match. And then for not Christian, but you see I'm tired. It's warm in here. Then you see Edge to come back. I just feel like that's where it should have been. That's just me. Now, how can I describe Happy Corbin versus Pat Mcafee? I liked it. I don't know what it is about Pat. Pat is basically he's a douchebag, but a nice douchebag. He gives off the attitude of a damn douche, an asshole, a jerk. But I've met people in my life, even though it's limited. I've met people in my life that can act like assholes, that can act like jerks or douchebags, but they have this personality that, yes, they are like that, but they're still good people. And they give off a personality that, yes, you know they're just a jackass, but they're your jackass, and you like them. You like that jackass because you know in the clinch, you know he's there or she's there. And that's what I feel like Pat Mcafee. He's someone that you know is just a jackass, a douchebag when he wants to be. In this case, he's an idiot. But he's your idiot. And he's someone you can rely on because when you see this match, yes, it wasn't one of the greatest matches. It wasn't supposed to be. Pat is not a constant performer in the damn ring. He's once in a while. And then you got the happy... I wish he would go back to being Baron Corbin, the lone wolf. That would be something different. Happy Corbin, I'm about to botch his name, Happy Corbin. I just feel like he has reached the end of this Corbin line of being a constable, now a good, a bum Corbin, and now a Happy Corbin. I'd like to see him reboot back to the way it was. And just be Corbin, the lone wolf. Let his hair grow all out. Let him be the way he was. And try something different. Try to be as he used to be. But the match was not bad. But it was a bit sloppy. There's no way. You could see how Pat was. Pat was sloppy. And you guys tell me below. I thought that when it came to Michael Cole, because when you watch Michael Cole when he was sitting down, I could be wrong, but he looked like he gained weight again. You guys tell me below, because the last time I checked, like 2.5 years ago, they showed on Instagram that he was cock diesel. He got abs. The guy was ripped. I'm wondering if he went back to being chubby again. Because I don't know. I think he might have just, because of the pandemic, he couldn't go out. He couldn't exercise. And he might have lost all that hard work he did. You guys tell me below what you think. But Pat Mcafee won. And I was fine with it. But then when you see him get you wonder if Corey Graves is going in the ring with Pat. I think that's the next person that's going to be on Pat's radar. It's going to be Corey Graves versus Pat Mcafee, because we know Corey can go in the ring now. He's been cleared for quite a while now. Wouldn't it be interesting to see Corey Graves versus Pat? A SmackDown guy versus a Raw guy. That might happen. You never know. Now, next. Here's the thing. How many times have we seen the Street Profits go versus the Usos? Multiple times. And no one's saying that their matches are bad. They're not. I'm not saying the matches are bad. I don't hate the Usos. I don't hate the Street Profits. Montez Ford, the way that he was acting during that match was very... It's like someone's about to flip a switch and get so enraged they're about to go and turn on their partner. And Angelo Dawkins is going to get laid out. Possibly. Kind of like what happened with a Ricky Starks along with a Powerhouse Hobbs. I'm just saying. The quality of the match is not the problem here. It's that we've seen them so many times. That's the problem. It's not how many times you can make the match different. You can make the match 100 times different. But if you see the same guys 100 times, no matter how many times you change it, you don't want to see it anymore. Yeah, I still love their matches. They do great matches, but still. And this match was a very good one. And in the end, the Usos did manage to eke out another win. And they are now 375 days in now. So that means something. That does. And it kind of pisses me off because of what happened with Jimmy. They should have not kept those titles after what happened with Jimmy and his getting in trouble with the police again. But the point is, we've seen the same people over and over again. We've seen them. We've seen New Day. We've seen Alpha Academy. Generally speaking, they've gone through the entire roster how many times already? Not one time, maybe 3 or 4 times, the same people. And particularly the Street Profits, for no less. They have no one left. Unless they're going to bring someone up from NXT, which they badly need to. It's just empty. I'm just saying. Now, the match that is now a controversy, that is the SmackDown Women's title of Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey. Now, it wasn't a 100% bad match. I'm not saying that Ronda didn't do well, and I'm not saying Liv Morgan didn't do well. I know everyone wants to marry Liv Morgan and have her for the rest of her life as their wife. I wouldn't mind. If she didn't mind a very old guy with a messed up hip who's a little shy. But the thing is that we've seen this, and what does it give us? I'm glad that Ronda herself told the brass in the back, this woman should have the damn title and she should be pushed. They need to do something with Liv. She has the ability. And I'm glad that she's been in a corner. But now that we had the controversy where she was put into an armbar, and not armbar, but basically arm lock, and she basically tapped to it, but Ronda basically got counted out at the same time as she tapped. That's like, where are you going to go with this next? Because basically, she didn't want to even let go. Well, technically she did let go, but then she grabbed her and did it again, and then she got the ref and did it to the ref, and then everyone had to tell her to leave. Now she's going to get fined, but then what does this mean? Yeah, Ronda's now become a heel. But the point here is this. Where does this lead a Liv Morgan? I want to see Liv have more, but then you need more women on the damn roster for this to work. You had the same women for Liv, the same women for Ronda, and yes, Io Shirai is now there. Yes, Dakota Kai is there. Yes, Bayley is back, which I got to say this about Bayley. My baby, that woman, she's not the most gorgeous looking woman in the face. She's pretty. She's pretty, let's be honest. Bayley's pretty. She's not gorgeous, but she's pretty. But oh my gosh, she has a body like a goddess. That woman's got curves that many people would melt to. I had to say it. I'm sorry. But the point is, the reason I brought those 3 up is those are the only new people they're going to have. They need a more filled out roster for both shows. And I hope that they are going to unify all the titles, because I knew they were going to split them off. And now the question is when they're going to unify them back again and make them one title that women will wander between the shows, because they badly need it. I'm just saying. Now, final match of the night, which is surprisingly good. That's where this comes from. And that is the last man standing match of Roman Reigns versus a Brock Lesnar. This was at first not that great. It was a slow build up. Yes, you did see Brock Lesnar come out in a tractor. Yes, he was standing on top of it. Yes, the moment that he was about to start the match, you saw Brock pounce on him and start beating the crap out of him. It was a slow build though. Not until the end, when particularly the tractor actually started tipping over the damn ring. And I believe I got a shot of it. There's the shot right now of the tractor lifting it up. And there's a shot on the side when you see them fighting near the side that's still down. Dude, this was a surprisingly good ending. This show, the ending of it was very good. Seeing that the Usos had to come out and help to try and stop Brock and it didn't work. Seeing that Austin Fury came out and Fury tried to get what he wanted. He nailed a Roman Reigns in the face and got him really good. And he said he was going to be able to hand in the thing, but Brock F5s him and he stays on the floor even though he could have got up earlier. And in the end, Roman beats up on Fury, beats up on Brock multiple times, then had to bury his ass to get him to lose, because he hit him. How many times did he nail him? Not with just the steel tables. Sorry. He nailed Brock in the face with tables. He nailed him with the steel steps. He nailed him with the belts multiple times. He nailed him with the Money in the Bank briefcase multiple times. He nailed him so many times with that, and it didn't stop him until he had to bury him with the help with the Usos and himself. That was the only way to stop his ass. That was the only way. Damn. Brock looked like he was a monster, but Brock did not lose. And now that we did have that segment with Drew, where I forgot where the next place is going to be, but Drew's setup for the next pay-per-view. For this, now they're going like, what is Drew going to do? How is he going to be able to stop a Roman Reigns after what he just did to Brock? It's kind of like, don't you think it should be about Brock? Because how can you stop Brock? Because it took 4 guys. 4. It took Roman, Jay, Jimmy, and even Austin tried. Didn't work. 4 guys to try and stop Brock, and he had to get buried. I think the more dangerous person is not Roman Reigns, but Brock Lesnar. So you wonder, why would Drew be nervous about Roman Reigns? The only thing he had to do is try to get rid of a Paul Heyman, a Austin Fury, Jay and Jimmy, and then he has them all by himself. That's all he needs to do. Then if it's one-on-one, he may stand a better chance. So he has to worry about all of them, not Roman. Now, mind you, everyone's going to say, well, there you go. That's the reason we got to worry about Roman. Well, people have gone through that before. People find ways of doing it. I'm just saying that if it's about Roman saying, how can you stop Roman? It's impossible to stop Roman, how dominant he is. No, you mean the people that wouldn't have made him dominant. I'm just saying that they shouldn't have said it like that. Now, mind you, I might have missed something, but it still feels about Roman only, like his own destruction. Even though he had everyone else to help him, and they say it, it's still about Roman being so destructive. Now, did I think this was a good show? Like I said, surprisingly good. Most of the matches were not bad. Logan Paul was not bad at all. He's still green. And he was way rough on The Miz. You could see The Miz had a big welt in the face. I'm a big ass one. He really hurt The Miz. Seeing that Happy Corgan gave a gunshot drop kick to Pat Mcafee to his chest and he went boom. That one was quite good. And several other things that didn't need to be there. I mean, the Judgment Day did not need that match with the Mysterios. I'm sorry. They did not have the right to be on SummerSlam with that match. Even though Edge came back, it could have been done on Raw. I'm sorry. Liv Morgan with Ronda Rousey, maybe they could have done that also on Raw. And it might be more dramatic there. I think they could have left it off the show. That's just me. I'm just saying. And also, I know I could talk about Riddle getting completely messed up by Seth Rollins and hurting his neck. Since I have not watched the feud, I'm going to leave it at that. Just that he got nailed. I don't know where they're going to go if Randy is still not able to come back yet. At least I don't think. If he comes back by this Monday, it would make sense because of what he did to Riddle. I don't know. But I'm going to leave it at that. This wasn't that bad. You will like it, at least for most that is there. I did not see the kickoff, so I don't know how good that was. But to me, this was okay. It was a good show. Surprisingly good. But does that mean I'm going to be more interested in watching Raw, SmackDown, NXT? No, no, and no. I'll still wait for the highlights and reviews from other people. Because as far as I'm concerned, the product is still shit. I don't trust them. I still believe there's going to be a war inside the WWE where people are going to act passive-aggressive. And it's going to be a big mess that sooner or later we will get reports from Sean Ross Sapp, from Fightful, and all of the other websites that are going to be saying that there's several people that have already reported there's several incidents that's been happening that people are trying to set people up to mess them up. That's what I see is happening. I believe that could be, and I hope I'm wrong, but still. And I hope you enjoy this SummerSlam 2022. Please give me a comment below. Have a good day. Have a good night.